Hey everyone, so the new expansion came out yesterday, and I have a lot of deck ideas I'm working on, but for day 1 I ended up playing Nasus Kindred. I just have a lot of fun playing it, and I also wanted to make sure that I could make a video, and then tweak and figure out these other decks later, and it ended up going way better than I expected. And so it shows from before the patch, but if I start from the patch, right about here, then you can see that I ended up going 20-5, and with a couple of really long win streaks. I only ran into pirates 1, 2, 3 times, but I beat it every time. Honestly, this deck just felt so easy to win, unless I got like a terribly unlucky opening hand, which only happened in about 3 of like the 25 games, or like 3 of the 5 losses I got, and also could have been because of greedy mulligans. But yeah, I ended up with an 80% win rate and made it to diamond really fast. So the first champion of the deck is Nasus. He gets +1/+1 for each unit you've slain this game, and slay means when you kill a unit via damage, kill effect, or striking it with an ally. And you can kill your own units, you just can't self-kill through forms like Ephemeral. And then once he strikes for 10+ damage, he levels up, and then he gains Spell Shield, and all enemies have -1 attack, which is obviously really good in combination with Fearsome to potentially get some damage in. Then we have Kindred. Each round, the first time you slay a unit, you mark the weakest enemy, and then on round end, you kill units with her mark. And then once Kindred's seen you slay 2 units with the mark, she levels up. And then each round, the first time you slay a unit, you grant her +2/+2, and then you mark the weakest enemy still. And so it's basically the same effect, but now she can also get very large stats like Nasus. Okay, so since this whole deck revolves around slaying, basically the core card of the deck is Undying. So Undying is a 3-mana 2/2, it can't block, but it has a last breath effect where you revive it at the next round start and grant it +1/+1 for each time it's died. And so this is really nuts because unless it gets silenced, this is going to constantly be on your board every single turn, and so you always have a target available to slay. So for the cards that we use to slay, the first one is Ravenous Butcher. 0 mana 3/2, but to play it you have to kill an ally. By the way, I only like running 2 of these. I feel like 3 can like really brick some hands. So personally I feel like you don't want more than 2. Hate Spike is really awesome. A patch or 2 ago it got reduced to 1 mana, and so now you can kill an ally to deal 2 to a unit. And it also summons a random husk afterwards. The husk can sometimes high roll you a keyword for your champs, but worst case is just another thing that you can slay later on. Also, a tip with Hate Spike is actually be careful if you're using this in combination with Kindred, because the first part of this ability kills an ally and then deals 2 to a unit. So when you kill the ally, it'll actually immediately mark the weakest enemy. You want to make sure the deal 2 portion of this ability probably isn't killing that same unit to get the most value out of it. Then we have Wings in the Wave. It doubles as both slay targets and a slay trigger, depending on your choice. Glimpse can slay your own unit and draw you cards, which is the same as Spirit Leech, except for that Spirit Leech gives you a body. Then we have Crumble. So Crumble is super important and like pretty broken in this deck. Because of Undying, we can basically remove any threat any turn for only 4 mana. And if Kindred is on board, then possibly another thing for free along with it. And basically the last thing we can use to self-slay is this new equipment called Darkened Bloodletters. The card in equipment form is actually not that great. It only gives a unit +1 attack, but if the unit this is on dies, it actually summons you this Dark Enthrall. It's just a 1/1 unit that can't even block, so it isn't that great, but could be useful sometimes for extra units to sacrifice. But we mainly care about the second part of this. It allows you to pay 6 mana to summon Zolani, which is a 7/7 Overwhelm, and when it dies it goes back to your hand in original equipment form, and then you can just do it over and over again. The only catch is that to play this unit you need to kill an ally to summon her. But because of Undying, there's virtually no point in the late game where you wouldn't have at least 1 Undying to sacrifice to play this card over and over again. And so this is obviously an insanely good value engine. The main issue is that basically you don't want to ever double draw this. I don't really think this can be a 3 of. It could potentially be a 2 of in the deck, but I'm personally fine with just 1 at the moment because it can brick some hands due to it kind of being slow. And the 1 of just feels fine to me as like a good card to find in the late game. As for the rest of the deck, I also run 1 minion. It's sort of like an extra Undying. It's obviously worse than Undying in a lot of ways, because it doesn't gain attack, and you have to actually replay it over and over again and spend mana. But I feel like at least we're more consistently having units to sacrifice now with Minion. And this card being able to block is actually pretty nice into more aggressive decks. Also, of course, you gotta run Rite of Negation, and Atrocity for an extra win con. The Undyings can get really big over time. Of course, Nasus can get really large stats. Even Kindred can get up there. And even Zolani is not too bad of a target for Atrocity with 7 attack. So some cards to consider, the first one would be Black Spear. I've never really been a fan of this card. I don't really like the conditional aspect where you need an ally to die before you can play this. I feel like I can't use it a lot of the times I want to. And 4 damage does hit a decent amount of things, but I'm not sure it hits enough things. My main concern would be Kai'Sa. This does basically just nothing to Kai'Sa. But depending on the meta, maybe you could consider this. Not a bad option would be Rite of Calling. I mean, your champs are really important, so drawing extra of them is never bad. And we're not really going to have an issue slaying something to get this effect. I just never really have an issue drawing my champ so far. And it can be a bad draw against aggressive decks. So I prefer not to include this in the deck at the moment. But in a slower meta, it's definitely worth considering running a couple copies of these. So this Darkened Halberd card got released. To play it, you kill an ally, and then you give the unit it's equipped to +2/+2. But the extra effect is that you can actually play this card as a unit, just like Bloodletters. But you have to spend 10 mana to play it as Tarash. Tarash is a 10/10 fearsome, and then each round, the first time you attack, you fill your attackers with revived ephemeral copies of the strongest followers you've slain this game. Which I'm pretty sure just ends up being a lot of Undyings. And so like it might be a fun finisher, just not really good enough in my opinion. Like the equipment part is never really going to be that valuable. I don't think the deck really struggles getting tall enough. And so most games it's just going to be like a dead card in your hands. Until like turn 10 you hope that they can't answer it. It just seems like kind of a meme card at the moment. I'll still experiment with this though. And if you guys disagree you can let me know. But at the moment I don't think it deserves to be included. This other new card is pretty cool, Heedless Resurrection. Once you have equipped an ally this game, it costs 2 less. And then you revive the strongest dead allied champion. I only run the 1 equipment though, so I can't ever really get this discount. And I don't think it's really worth running more equipment just for that. And if all you care about is reviving champions, you wouldn't really need to revive a champion until like you play a Nasus on turn 6, and it's already died. So in that case you should probably just run Rekindler, which is the 7 drop, which is a 4/4 when you play it you revive the strongest dead allied champion. So this new removal card, Quietus, I could potentially include later. Like 1 mana removal seems really strong to me with Kindred. It's probably decent versus aggro. Also depending on the meta, being able to remove equipment might become really strong. So I'm keeping this in mind but not adding it in just yet. You could also consider running the Shadow Isle Tellstones over 1 or all of the crumbles. Because for 1 minute it gives you 3 different options and one of them is crumble. In my experience though, you will always just be crumbling. And the 1 extra mana actually matters a lot. And so maybe if you want some like fast speed interaction in the form of Spirit Journey sometimes, then you could consider this. There's also a couple extra cards you could consider that are just generally good in these regions. The first one I think of is Quicksand. The thing is that Quicksand actually doesn't affect equipment keywords, so it's not as useful at the moment as like some other metas probably, but it still might be good depending on what you're playing against. Like this is really strong against elusives for example. Withering Wail will be really good against aggro, deal 1 to all enemies and heal your Nexus 3. But if you are running this card, I imagine you'd actually probably be more happy running Thresh Nasus than Kindred Nasus. The box is also always considerable in pretty much any Shadow Isles deck in my opinion. It can be pretty good against aggro, dealing 3 damage to each enemy that was summoned this round. Especially like swarm decks, like potentially Norra decks, if they become really popular. Yeah, as for like tips with this deck, Kindred is really strong and so I recommend like saving some slay triggers for once she is played. Even if sometimes it means taking a bit of extra damage on like turn 2 or 3. Depending on the matchup of course, like probably don't do something like that against pirates, but just keep that in mind. Also try to find Undying in the mulligan a lot of the time. It's like really essential to how the deck works in general. But be careful of mulliganing away the early units that can be used as sacrifice targets, like Fading Icon and Wings in the Wave, because you could get really unlucky and then have a handful of cards that want to slay without cards that can actually be used as sacrifices. Also, just in general, don't be afraid to pass, especially with things in the hand like Merciless Hunter to get the most amount of value. Yeah, I personally find this deck really fun, and it felt super strong to me. Some people are on Nasus Thresh instead of Kindred, and like teching the deck differently because of all the aggro around, and the Kindred version being worse into aggro, so maybe keep that in mind. Like I said, I only ran into pirates 3 times in my climb to Diamond, and I beat it 100% of the time, so it didn't feel that bad for me, but maybe I got lucky or something. And I was happy because against pretty much anything that's not aggro, it felt way too easy to win. We have so much removal and so many threats late game. This is a crazy strong deck that I find a lot of fun playing. But yeah, that's it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Maybe even like the video, it would really help me out. And as always, if you want to see me play anything in the near future, you can leave a comment below. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. Okay, figures I'd run into pirates eventually. Kinda sad I run into it with this deck. I don't really like Undying. But I want like targets to like kill, right? And the whole deck kind of revolves around undying. I feel like I have to keep it. Let's see what they do. I can block this if I want to. I can hate spike something, which is kind of neat. I want to like block this and then kill this. But I think I can get a value trade with this. Yeah, like so because I can get I think I pass. Or I could also just do undying, but it doesn't actually die. I think I'm down to just pass. Although Pirates doesn't mind passing as much nowadays because like they have Riptide Sermon. I think it's still good. So maybe I should have just played this regardless. Oh, that's getting rid of that. Yeah, I probably should have just played undying, I guess.
Embrace life.
Expect death.
Oh, I was afraid of make it rain. Ah. Like undying can't block either, right? It's kind of awkward. Yeah, we just misplayed on that one turn. I should have just developed undying. Now you can play Riptide. Oh, nice. Fervor? Sure. Alright.
Just need a second. Remember me, little one. Please. He'll be mine.
He is for the other.
You could Riptide still, if he has it.
Looking for trouble? It found you.
You need like a Fervor now to stop this. Oh, why do that? I mean, I feel like you're supposed to keep your MF alive, if anything. It's weird. I don't know. I think I'm like just fine. Now.
We stand in the footprints of paths long trodden.
I can't block. I wouldn't if I hit Atro.
Where's my axe?
Grab him up tight.
Yeah, if I hit Atro, I just win.
No one's the wiser.
Nothing but the stink of blood.
Nice, no spells. You can block 3 things. You only take what, 3 damage?
Keep up, keep up.
Fuck. But we can just block with Nasus first, right? Unless he has
Spirit is hollow.
This one's a fighter.
Your time is done.
4. Doesn't matter what we block. I mean, if it doesn't matter, but this levels up Nasus, isn't that better?
You're dead meat.
5 this way? Okay, we stay alive at 5. We don't lose the decimate anymore. Nice.
Sense of eternity stretched out before me.
Still kind of close. I mean, we can draw Astro, right? Oh, we can draw. Right, we have Astro and Red Negation. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we can win. We can win.
This too shall end.
Let's go. We won. Because even if he has like another anything, we have Red Negation. We beat fucking aggro with this shit. Let's go. We probably still misplay on that turn. Turn 3 or something. Turn 4 is probably still a misplay if you think about it. All the way down. But even if it was, it's kind of crazy that we still like pulled it back. Alright, so like this is the type of stuff I feel like is just free. Because like they're stuck in one region. They're stuck in one. I honestly kind of want to keep Hate Spike, but in this deck you actually don't have that like too many units to like trigger the death, and so I feel like it's more important to just make sure you get those units. But Hate Spike is pretty good on the Jax. Like if I got the 2-drop, it'd be pretty clean. I think it's more important to just keep these up. Oh, you didn't have Jax. That's lit. Oh, maybe he's just playing. Maybe he just top decked this and then wants to Jax this turn with the Forge. Okay.
Anyone seen any sheep around here?
Oh damn. I think I just take a bunch of damage here. He probably is incentivized to open attack with this board.
Better get the forge going. Never won.
Without the
Could play Jax now. Or this one. Is there a challenger one? You can't, right? I think I'm fine.
Sometimes you're the fish, sometimes you're the bait.
So the dumb thing is that like, whatever. I think I just play this.
Right, to work. Come on, where's the competition?
I was gonna say like, if I don't develop this, then he wouldn't attack with this. But then I wouldn't have a blocker for this anyway, so it's just technically worth more to just do this. That's fine.
I thought there was a practice before.
We get a free mark. We probably just attack. Then we can go for like a Vile Feast ping on this, or like just a crumble onto something if you play something good. Like maybe that's good enough to crumble.
Fighting food and cooking evil. No, switch those.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2, right? We can just kill that, it marks that. Next turn we can like Vile Feast that, I guess. I guess we kind of want to play this. I'm sort of afraid of that Ornn spell if he main decks it. But I mean, that would kill everything else anyways, right? So we really want to be able to have a blocker though, because I feel like this ping probably won't go through. This Vile Feast. He's like failure, right? So he's probably gonna have like troll chance, stuff like that.
Stand with me by the light
or something like that.
ancestors did.
But do we have to say this for Ornn? Probably can just do this, right?
They will.
This is gonna die. Let's overwhelm. Fuck. That's kind of scary. I think we need an answer to Ornn. I don't think I can worry about this too much. I think I have to do like something like this. This. This is gonna die anyways. Okay, it's good he's getting rid of the troll chant so he doesn't have it like next turn. Okay.
Here, let me see that.
You can't block with this though. I'm a little bit scared of what he could have. But if he does something, if he does like a flash freeze, yeah.
By Ornn's forge.
We can do this. What the hell? How can he stop that? He can't.
They will.
Now this is gonna die. We still have a crumble.
A broken thing is awaiting.
It's too lit. Bye. Oh my god. I thought we were screwed right there. Yeah, the moment he plays an Ornn, like this is probably an Ornn, right? The moment he plays an Ornn, we just like smoke it with the Undying. With our crumble. Oh, this deck is just mean. That was a bit scary though right there though. 4-8? Huh?
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
I think he wants to play Ornn. Like it's gotta be, right? Alright. Maybe he thought he could equip like 2 weapons at the same time. Ooh, pirates. Norra. I mean, not pirates. TF Norra. Get it all out of here. Nothing's too big where you'd want crumble, I don't think. Until later. I really just want a kindred. That's kind of lame. Oh god.
There's plenty of killing left.
I mean, the good news is that I can just play Fading Icon. Like, I'll take 3 probably right away. He probably insta attacks. Yeah. But, I think I open up with, killing this so you can't, like, red card or make it rain. And just, like, piss me off. He's also wasting something, so like I think I attack with only this. 'Cause he probably wants to like get rid of this in a different way. Yeah, he doesn't want to block. So it's just free 3 damage. Because he would have rather like ping this or something. Oh, is it monkeys? Is it just a monkey deck? I mean, if he's passing, don't I always just take that pass?
I cannot go. Say your farewells.
Okay, we're getting them Nasus slays.
I seem to have misplaced my, self.
Remember me, little one. Please.
I guess I can just hate spike next turn on Norra, right? There's no way. There shouldn't be any ways to like buff Norra. And if he did have a way, he would have had mana last turn. The only way to buff it would be like with Purple Berry, right? We could just like Bile Feast plus hate spike. Elusive on our Nasus. Let's fucking go. Let's go, man.
I walk through the ages.
Go ahead and TF. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. I only want to let him do it again. I think I just attack with everything. I don't want to let him like TF gold card me. I don't want to let him do another Riptide. I think we just ship this attack. We could do another Riptide. We can Vile Feast.
Never lost a fair game, or played one.
If we do this, we get our own Slay. And then we can get it out of Riptide range. Riptide Sermon range. Oh, I guess he kills a spider that way, but I wanted to be able to do this. And have this be out of the range. Now we can't Riptide. Even though we lose a spider. Ah! Up it. What did he take? That?
Norra's gonna make a meal.
Okay, we can always hate spike that thing, right?
Gotta find a kit for Renekton.
Rydar?
Gotta go with the flow.
I can always just hate spike that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I knew he had another one. I think we're good. You play 2 things. Strike that thing. I guess we should have struck the 4-2, right? I didn't really think about it. But it doesn't matter. Nice. Alright, so that play right there was huge. But yeah, I think we did it okay. We killed the spider, but it put us out of the other Riptide range, which he did have.